come on in. We'll talk a little bit about how you can be a rock star on the AKN. All right, so let's level set. First of all, why are people using the AKN? Let's start with something familiar. Google. You go to Google, you ask Google how to do things in Autodesk. You say Autodesk how to. What does Google do? Google sends you to knowledge.autodesk.com. Right, so the first couple pages now with every Google search, if you type in Revit how to, Civil 3D how to, you're going to come up with knowledge.autodesk.com. A customer told me just recently, there are a lot of places to find answers on Autodesk software. I don't always know if I can trust the source. The customer said, if the URL starts with knowledge.autodesk.com, I know I can trust it. I know that it comes from incredible people, incredible sources. So, what is the Knowledge Network? At its basic element, it's a website. But it's not just any website, it's what we think is the most used website on the Autodesk domain. Why are people coming to the Knowledge Network? Well, these are some of the simple reasons. People need to get up and running. They need to get started. They need to figure out how to use their software. Or maybe they're already using it and they get stuck. They need to download an update. They need to find some type of software patch or troubleshoot an issue. Or maybe they're trying to get inspired. Maybe they need to see a workflow or something that's new so they can extend the value of the data of their software. So if you want to figure out how to take your software from Civil 3D to InfraWorks or Revit to Inventor or Inventor to Fusion, Knowledge Network has all of these types of workflows embedded or built on it. So let's look at some of the numbers. These are pretty impressive numbers. In just a couple of years, in fact, this is the last 12 months, 61 million sessions on the AKN, right? So a lot of traffic. 30 million people have signed up basically on the AKN, and half of those being new visitors. So we've got a tremendous amount of people coming into the AKN for the first time, which means we have a lot of education still left to do. People need to know about the Knowledge Network and need to see this as the one-stop shop. 3,000 people have posted content, or 3,000 pieces of new content have been posted onto the AKN. So this is fantastic. Now, the majority of it's in English, but you're seeing other languages come into the AKN as well. And so we've started to dedicate front pages of the Knowledge Network to some of the languages. The first two being German and Japanese. So when I go to Germany, I say, we need content in German, by Germans, for Germans. And the German community loves this. They don't want to do a whole lot of translation. They don't want to do either machine translation or Google Translate or even have to translate themselves. They want it in their native language and they want it on native versions of software. So you'll see more languages supported as we move into the future. Now let's talk about the architecture of the AKN, just to make sure you all know. The AKN starts with core knowledge from Autodesk staff. So our help files are all on the Knowledge Network. So every product's help file is inside of the AKN. All of our tech support articles and workflows are also in the AKN. So if we take a support call and our tech support guys figure out the answer, they'll write up an article so that the next person that has that same question can find the answer on the AKN without necessarily having to call in. So this helps not only Autodesk, but also our partners. So our partners can focus on more complex things like implementations and larger types of workflows, and let the simple answers be on the Knowledge Network. Now, more and more content is coming online to the AKN in video format. So you probably know, of course, YouTube videos, but you might not be as familiar with Screencast. Screencast is our own video technology. You'll see me talk a lot more about Screencast, but this is a great way to watch videos of software in action. The Knowledge Network also crawls all of our forums and a tremendous amount of blogs. Some of those blogs being Autodesk authored, some being our partners authored, and even some expert elite authored blogs. But now what we've done is we've opened up the ability for anyone to create an article. So if you have a tip, a trick, a workflow, something like that to share, you can also create an article and put that into the AKN. So you see here, this is a two-way street. Our partners, Autodesk staff, and users, we're all trying to find answers, but we're also allowing people and encouraging people to contribute answers and crowdsource this AKN. So this is a great way to share this knowledge. Now, you may already be using the AKN and you don't even realize it. So here we are inside of Revit. I've typed in some help on stairs. I need help in Revit, find out some stairs. Well, what does it do? It brings back 230 results of stairs inside of Revit. Well, I can use the filters on the side and I can say, just show me the screencasts that are on stairs. What that does is that brings up 8 screencasts and allows me to see a screencast coming from the knowledge network inside of the product. So all of our products have this ability to reach out into the AKN and basically bring in web-enabled content inside a desktop version of the product. It's great to be able to have that. As I mentioned, we're encouraging contributions to the AKN. So we want you to write articles. We want you to create screencasts. We want you to show off what you know. We know there's a lot of smart people, not just working for Autodesk and not just working for our partners, but in our entire community. You guys have tips and tricks and workflows to share. Post those up. Tell people what you know. Show them how much of an expert that you are. So this is a quick little action item. Share an article, share a screencast. And if you share an article, you can format your text, you can embed your videos. Of course, this is also tied to your profile, and you can even attach files. So if you have a data set up to 100 megs, you can actually attach that to the article, and it's a great way to include your data set along with the article on the AKN. Now, I mentioned Screencast. Screencast is a free, let me say that again, free video recording software from Autodesk. It's intelligent too. It records our software in action, and it also records all the picks and clicks. And I'll show you a slide of that in a second. So 100,000 screencasts have already been created. You can record anything on your screen. It doesn't have to be just Autodesk software. Anything on PC or Mac, you can record that, and we host it. So the Knowledge Network hosts the video, and then we allow you to share it out from there. So you can put it on your blog, you can put it on your website, you can tweet it out, you can put it on your Facebook page. Wherever you want to put this screencast, it's got legs. So that's great because you want to distribute this content. And again, it's free. Now, I mentioned the timeliner. This is the intelligence behind Screencast. This is what separates us from Camtasias of the world, is the metadata that's captured with the screencast. So all the picks and clicks and everything you typed in, anything you touched, all of that is recorded. So if you don't know how to use the auto area load function, you can type that command into the Knowledge Network and it will return results that show screencasts, for example, that are using that type of command in the screencast itself. So this is really intelligent, a great way to record the video. Now, on top of screencasts and articles, a new type of knowledge asset is also coming on board, and this is called a Praxis workflow. Today, this is in Labs, so if you go to labs.autodesk.com, you'll find Praxis. This allows you to capture a workflow and save it to our cloud. Now, you may think, well, this is just circles and rectangles and diamonds, but what's interesting about these workflows is that you can click on one of these and drill into that specific step. You can embed images, videos, text, hyperlinks, all in each of those steps. So if you've ever used Visio or PowerPoint to try to capture a workflow, that workflow may be 60 pages long. You can capture all of that here within Praxis. So when you search the AKN, you'll start to see this type of asset along with screencasts and along with articles. Now, let's say you do post something and nobody sees it, nobody finds it. Well, why not? Well, you haven't put in a tag, you haven't put in a keyword, you haven't been descriptive enough. So don't just record a video of Revit and call it Revit Video 1. Nobody's ever going to find that, right? Be very specific about what you're recording. Be very verbose. Use the keywords and the terms that you would use if you were trying to find this type of knowledge asset. Be descriptive, okay? Let people find it. And all of these knowledge assets are going to be tied to your profile. So this is really important. We want you to have a professional profile. Who would you trust more if you found a piece of content? Would you trust Cool Cat Guy 3 or would you trust Matt Colbert, right? This is important for you to have a real bio, a real picture. Hyperlink out to your company, right? Show off who you work for, show off what you are. I mean, basically we're building like a little LinkedIn here for Autodesk, if you think about it like that. If you don't have a professional picture, we're taking headshots over here so you can have a professional picture tied into your profile. What we've done is we've combined 3 different profiles. So if you had an AU Online profile, an AKN profile, and also one from the forums, we've basically taken the best of all those profiles and we put it into one. So here's Chris's profile that is a compilation of the 3. And what you'll notice here is his forum activity is listed here, his contributions to the AKN, and also his affiliations. So if he has certifications, those are listed here as well. this guy is a true rock star, right? He's an expert elite. This is what we're trying to get more of our community to be like. Guys like this who are providing content, giving back, showing off what they know. Now, if you do activate your profile and get it straight, we're going to give a donation to one of these two charities, Water for People or Kickstart International. So we want more and more people to get their profile straight, make it look good, right? Be the type of rock star that the AKN has the ability for you to be. Now, content champions. So these are a couple of examples of people who have been very active on the AKN. I'm given 8 different sessions, and in each of these this week, I'm highlighting 1 or 2 people who have been true content champions, people who are posting a lot of content up to the AKN and using it as a platform to show off their expertise. So I showed Zahn a litlittle bit earlier, 226 screencasts, this is fantastic. But one thing that's new is that we've got Cansel, a couple of our guys from Cansel. We've built a company-based profile page for Cansel. This is the first one that we built for our channel partner. So what this does is this shows off a compilation of all of their staff together. How many people have contributed, the types of things they're doing on the AKN, all in one place. You'll see more and more of these company-based profiles come online as we move forward. So you see here all the staff that's underneath. So I'm going to invite up Hung and Drew, come on up and talk a little bit about the AKN and what they've done. As I mentioned, here's Matt, here's Hung, come on up. And Drew, welcome the guys from Cansel. All right, Drew and Hung, why don't you tell us just a couple minutes, a little bit about what you're using the AKN for and how it's helped you out.
Yeah, the marketing team within Cansel wanted us to be more active on social media, and so we have a Cansel channel, obviously, where we post things. We were able to link that into the AKN, which gave us the ability to get things out to people very quickly and to a very wide audience. And so the screencast really made that very easy way to do it, and we just made sure putting in some good front end and good leaving end parts to it kind of made it professional looking, and it was just a really easy thing for us to do. So I've got some Dynamo things up there I found as a way of learning myself. It was just a way to document what I was learning as I was learning it and share it with other people, and yeah, I just found it was really well set up. So, yeah, really appreciate it.
It's for me as very simple. I use the tool in a very selfish way. I have a son who actually graduated. He took petroleum, so within the oil and gas industry for like this year ago, really down. He couldn't find a job, so he turned to me and said, "That's what I'm going to do in the meantime." So I say, let's learn Revit and then maybe to apply somewhere with that in the meantime. So he jumped on it. So he started to email me how can I get the material to learn that. And immediately I shoot straight to do channel. So in this channel we have tons of Revit tip and trick. And now he really excited learning Dynamo. And Dynamo also a long list created by Drew. So thank you for Joe to make me become a rock star, but never too late to be a rock star, even though my hair falling down.
All right, a round of applause for our guys from Cansel. Thank you. Okay, yeah, and here's some of Hung's screencasts. They're actually pretty entertaining as well. You should check those out. And here's some of Drew's as well. So we want you to be an AKN champion, right? So here's your call to action. We want you to get familiar with the Knowledge Network. We want you to use it to start. Let Google point you there. Dig around. Use the filters. Filter out what you're really looking for on the left side. Then we want you to make sure that your profile is tight. We want you to have a professional headshot, and we want you to basically be representative of who you really are, okay? Don't try to use a screen name. Be a real person. And contribute. We really want you to contribute. We want you to share articles. We want you to share screencasts. If you do make a screencast, keep it short, okay? Nobody's going to watch an hour-long screencast from start to finish. It's really hard to do that in this day and age. Keep it around 5 minutes. Show one tip, one trick. Give it a little bit of an audio voiceover, and just keep it to the point and be done with it and move on to the next screencast. It's a great way to share your knowledge. All right, so if you have any questions, yes?
Who reviews the content? Like,
Who reviews the content? So we do have a content curation team. We have some people who are screening the content. And right now we're being pretty liberal about what we accept, okay? We're trying to say, you know what, you can share just about anything. We have rejected a few, but we also look to the crowd to help curate our content. We look for the crowd, basically our users, to say, thumbs up, this is good stuff, or I need to report this as being inappropriate, or maybe something that's not necessarily so helpful, okay? So there's a kind of a twofold curation, some by Autodesk, and some also through the crowd. Other questions? Comments? All right, guys, thank you so much for your attention. Really appreciate your time. Have a great AU.
How about a big hand for Joe Travis, folks, our senior manager, big hand, and for Drew and Hung over here. You guys give them a hand. They've become rock stars, and I hope you guys gained a little bit of knowledge about maybe what it